It's a new crew. If you're new, my name's Cassandra. If you missed it, we decided to pull our 3 oldest children out of public school to homeschool. That being said, this is going to be meal planning for breakfast and lunches and probably snacks heading into February, which is going to be my first full month of homeschooling my children. This shouldn't be too different than what I'm used to, just because my kids eat breakfast at home every day, even when they're going to public school, and we packed lunches every day for the kids to bring with them to school. So I don't think it's going to be too different, but I still want to write it down and just make sure that I am 100% good, that I have a meal plan set for breakfast, lunch, and possibly snacks. Dinners I'm going to worry about by a week-by-week basis. So we're going to do some monthly meal planning for breakfast and lunches for the kids. Luckily enough, I actually already had some lunch ideas kind of jotted down in the notes app on my phone heading into February, because the kids wanted to try some new things for lunches. So we are going to, ironically enough, we're actually going to start with lunches. When I'm meal planning for a month at a time, I like to have like 8 or 9 options that we can have every single week, even though there's only 7 days of the week, just because sometimes things just don't sound good. So I like to have extra options that I can just pull off of the shelf for when the kids are wanting something different or something new. So that's why I like to have some extra options. So I'm actually going to label my paper 1 through probably 7. This is literally how I format it. It doesn't have to be crazy. Even when I was doing once a month meal plans for dinners, I would just label my piece of paper 1 through, how many days are there in February? 28. So I would label my paper 1 through 28, and I would write out a list of 28 meals. And I'm basically gonna do the same thing with breakfast and lunches. I think I'm settled on 8. If I come up with an extra one, I will add it. Heading into this for lunches, I'm pretty sure I had quesadillas or nachos, just because they're pretty similar. They use pretty much the same ingredient, and I can store all of that stuff and have it not go bad on me. So I'm going to use them as like an interchangeable thing, just because they are pretty similar. We are going to do those little hot dogs. If I can remember, I'll put a picture up on the screen, but they're just the little cocktail weenies with the cheese in the middle. My kids really like those. Originally, because we decided to homeschool literally overnight, I was going to heat those up in the morning and put them in the kids' thermoses, and that's how I would have kept them warm if they were still attending public school. But because they're not, I don't have to think that far ahead, and I can just boil them as is. And then we'll pair those with fresh fruit, yogurts, applesauce, like things that we just keep kind of on stock all the time. But that will be like the main thing for that. The third one I had was either raviolis or SpaghettiOs. I am switching these over. We are in the middle of what is loosely becoming a pantry challenge. And a big goal of mine was to get rid of all of the not so high quality foods off of my pantry shelf and replace them with something of a higher quality. So that's what I'm doing with these. We went through all of the canned SpaghettiOs, canned raviolis, and now I'm going to be replacing them with Annie's, which the ingredients are definitely a lot better in those. Obviously it's not perfect, it's still like a canned convenience item, but I'm going to want these on the shelf, especially because this is my first time. I have homeschooled in the past, but when I homeschooled it was just one child, and it's been a couple of years. So to go from homeschooling 1 to homeschooling 3 with a baby and a toddler, I think is going to be a little bit of a different story. So I want to have some convenience things on the shelf, especially as we're figuring out schedules and like how co-ops are going to work, and we are just all the things. I know that this is going to be it has the potential to be a little bit of an intimidating transition, so I want to have some easy things on the shelf for days where I'm just like feeling a little overwhelmed, or when I need them. I love homemade really high quality foods, but I am also not against pulling a convenience item off the shelf when I need it. That's why they're there. So I feel like as long as we're not eating these things all the time, I don't think it's that bad. They're there, so I'm going to utilize them. That's just my feelings on it. Another one that we had were pizza dippers. We make those and I will make them in bulk. This is a homemade item. I think I'm going to make a bunch of these in bulk and get them in the freezer and be able to just like reheat them and have them for lunches for the kids. However, I did start putting together my grocery order for February because it's towards the end of the month. I'm filming this on the 28th. I did put in 4 frozen pizzas in my Walmart grocery order just in case. Okay, we had to scoot over. I have somebody joining me here. They're gonna be playing with Play-Doh. You're probably gonna hear some babbling. It's okay. Another one that I had was just straight up sandwiches. Always easy. I figured this would be something easy to pack with us and take with us. I did not realize how big of a homeschool area we live in, which is turning out to be a very big blessing. There are like weekly homeschooling events that are held at our local YMCA that I knew about because our kids had taken classes through there, but I guess there's a difference between knowing and like knowing. Does that make sense? So I know that those days will be nice to be able to like pack a cooler with us, do the swimming if the kids want to do the classes that they hold there, and then be able to like get back in the car on the way home, pass out sandwiches for kids that are hungry. My kids are ducks. They love to swim. We do it a ton. So you need some help? That being said, I know that we're going to be wanting to do that as many days as we possibly can. So I want to be able to have something like those sandwiches where we can just pull those together, pack a little lunch and go, and be able to enjoy that, especially as the weather starts warming up again and we're going to be doing a lot of adventures and all the things. So there's that. Another one that I had, I have my list here on my phone, was a like cheese and crackers and sausage. The kids really like this. I would like carrot sticks, cucumbers. I'll slice up an apple, an orange, pears, like whatever it is. And I usually just put it on a big tray, either like a cutting board or something. I put it in like the middle of the table and people can come and grab, and we just use it as a snack platter. It works really well. We do that a lot during the summer, so I figured this is really going to be no different. Another one that I had were actually like popcorn chicken. Once again, I figured I'd be able to put that in the thermos, keep it hot for the kids, and it would be fine. I have two bags of those in my Walmart cart because there's 4 weeks for February, and I figured you just do half a bag, half a bag, half a bag, half a bag. And if I don't end up needing that much for all of the kids, then it'll last longer. But that's my thinking right now. I can pair those with potato wedges that I already have prepped in my freezer. Things like that. The other one that I had on here are salad kits. Oh yeah. All of my kids love salad kits. They're always happy to eat that. So I figured, you know, once or twice a week, pull out a salad kit if I need to and hand it out for lunches, and the kids really enjoy that. A couple months ago, myself and my husband started eating carnivore, and our kids have taken some of that on for themselves that they really enjoy. What I liked it the most is actually with breakfasts. So once a week for breakfast, we are going to do like Canadian bacon, like round Canadian bacons, and hopefully eggs. Our chickens and ducks are kind of laying when they want to. They'll lay really good for a couple days and then they'll stop laying for a day or two, and then they'll lay really good for a couple days. So it's not super consistent right now, but we are hitting that point. Like, we are past the winter solstice now, so days are getting longer. We're past that really big cold snap, at least for right now. I'm sure there will be another 1 or 2 of those before it really starts to warm up where we live. But hopefully the chickens will be starting to lay a little bit more consistently here in the next couple of weeks, probably like March, end of March, early April. So we only have a couple more weeks left. The other thing that the kids really liked were breakfast sausages. So I'm gonna do those, like the links. Once again, hopefully with eggs, but I can always pair these with like pancakes or something. Another thing that the kids always love for breakfast, like I said, pancakes, French toast, which are things that I always have on hand. So I'm just going to write that down just for like my own self. So like pancakes, waffles is another thing that we always keep in stock. Like, what did I say? French toast is another one that we always keep in stock. What I like to do for French toast is I will just actually save my like couple day old sourdough loaves that I make. They start to get like stale after that a little bit. They're not as good as they are, you know, the first day or two after they're fresh. So I will slice those and then put them in my freezer, and then I'll pull them out of my freezer like the night before and use those slices of bread to make French toast, because it doesn't matter that they're stale at that point, because you're soaking them in, you know, the eggs, the milk and stuff, and they perk right back up. It's perfect. So that's how I usually will do my French toast. Just straight up normal toast is always an option. Toast and eggs are usually an option as long as we have eggs. One of my sons all the time, well, I guess I have 2 or 3 kids that love hard-boiled eggs in the morning. That's personally one of my favorite breakfasts as well, just a couple of hard-boiled eggs. Like I said, eggs are kind of, we don't have like as steady a supply of eggs. We are supplementing with like store-bought eggs and stuff, but I think right now I have like 2 eggs in my house, so it's not always there. I always have stuff for like parfaits, so like yogurt and granola, berries, whether that be fresh or frozen berries that I'll pull out of the freezer and they can like thaw and you get like ooey and gooey and stuff. Those are always good in yogurts as well, so we always have that as an option as well. Breakfast burritos are always an option as well. Right now we're almost out of the pigs that we buy locally, so I'm buying these things from the store, but normally I would have them just in my freezer, but because we're getting to the end of that, we really only have like pork chops and stuff left. So thank you, Cleo. And lunches for the month, and I'll just make sure that I get enough to have all these things 4 times, and that'll be perfect for February. For snacks, I'm hoping that we can still keep up with like making a lot of these things from scratch. Like we make our cookies, muffins and things from scratch, especially if the kids are going to be home. They love to be in the kitchen, especially my older girls, to make like a thing of brownies or something, or something like that. But we rely really heavily on things like fresh fruit. Like this is a 22 quart bowl. I filled this like once a week this month. You want one? And we only have a couple pairs left, so we do a lot of fresh fruit, a lot of string cheese for snacks. But I do get things like peanut butter crackers, granola bars I'll get. So because we are planning on doing a lot of classes and a lot of co-ops and things like that, I still want to have some easy like grab and go things where I can pack a cooler with us and we can go do a class, like art classes and things like that. So that's my thought for now. If you have any tips and tricks for someone who is like just starting homeschooling when it comes to meals, I would love to hear that from you guys. I think I'm going to be relying a lot on like some of these easier things, some like heat and eat type things as well, but also like my crock pot, my instant pot, I think are going to be my best friends moving forward over the next couple of weeks until we can kind of find our rhythm a little bit. But this is my idea for February for breakfast and lunches, just kind of a brain dumping for snacks. I'm sure we will figure that out as we move along. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It's been a long time since we've sat down and done like a really traditional meal plan together. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope wherever you guys are safe. I know in the south it is still crazy at the point of filming this. I hope that it starts to warm up for you and for us very quickly, because I'm very over winter. I'm very over the cold. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to start seeds. I'm ready to be able to crack open my windows and have like a nice spring breeze rolling through, not this like super cold winter air. I'm so ready for it, but we're close, you guys. Spring is, I think, only like seven weeks away, which sounds like a long time, but we know that will just fly by in a blink of an eye. So I'm excited for it. I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in another